What is up, all of Luke's chicken people? My name is Caitlin. Welcome to 5 Acre Farm. I am solo on the farm this evening. Luke is helping cut corn, and so he put me in charge of this video. So if you're new here, welcome to the channel. And if you haven't watched any of our other videos, you should probably go check those out because they will be much better than this video will be. But we're just gonna wing it because that's what we do here on the farm. So I just wanted to show you a little bit of what we have going on, and then I'm going to take you and collect some eggs. I'm going to show you the process of how we sort them, how I sell them, and all of that. So I'm going to turn you around and show you what we got going on here. This is our big chicken yard, which is not very full of chickens right now. But we have some guineas, and we have one lonely turkey. Oh, are you gonna be camera shy? This turkey, I don't know what it is about me, but this thing will chase me around the yard and won't leave me alone. Doesn't bother Luke, just bothers me. So we got some silkies, a little bantam, some millie fleurs. That black chicken back there is one of our OG chickens. She's the oldest here on the farm. She'll be 8 this coming spring. 8 or 9, I can't remember now. She's old, that's what I know. Everything in here is pretty much just young birds that we hatched out this spring. And if you haven't watched any of our videos, we've had a major coyote problem this summer in early fall, and so I moved all of the birds that are normally in this pen to a different pen that's fully enclosed, so we could hopefully cut back on our losses from the coyote. Still have not caught him, her, them, whatever it is, but doesn't seem to be coming around on a regular basis, so maybe it moved on after it decided it couldn't get any more snacks. I'm not sure. On our farm, we also have American guinea hogs. So it's a heritage breed pig. I will show you Mr. Wilbur. What's up, Wilbur? Can you say hi? He is probably the friendliest boar ever. He will let you pet him, but not like squeeze him and hug him. Just a little pet, huh? And then his lady friends are over there having a little snack. I fed them over there a little bit ago, so they're eating, and that one's just chilling by the water. And then we also have, I've already been over there, but we have ducks, and we have geese, and we have 8 dogs, and we have Coturnix quail. We have roughly 15 breeds of chickens that we normally breed from here on the farm. We have a egg production paddock out in the pasture. We have pigeons. I don't know if you can see them. Whoa, lost you. They're up there. They're just chilling. And then we have registered Texas longhorns as well. So I'll take you out and show you those. Just some general questions that we get. Yes, we do live on 5 acres. We lease ground around us for our cows and for our egg production hens, but we own and live on 5 acres, so that is where our name comes from. But yeah. Oh, I gotta show you Nubs. Nubs, say hi, buddy. I don't know if you can tell, but the front one does not have any feet. He got frostbite and he lost all of his toes and his feet. So I've already collected eggs out of the big barn. A lot of you guys have asked to see the barn. It's nothing special. I'll back up so you can kind of see it. Literally has roost bars, straw, and a nesting box hanging on this wall. And then it has an automatic coop door, and then we open up the big barn door as well. So nothing fancy. Hopefully someday we can upgrade the barn and take you along with that process. So I only got 2 eggs, little eggs, out of there. Like I said, most of the chickens in this yard are too young to be laying. And then our old girl, wherever she went, she only lays like once in a while. But when she does lay, they are some huge eggs, I will tell you that much. So we're gonna head over here to our grow out pen, which is now technically our everything pen. And we're gonna collect these eggs. And then we'll head out to the pasture. And I'm not very good with this camera, so sorry for the whiplash and bear with me. But this is where everybody's hanging out now. There's, I don't even know how many chickens in here. We have all of our breeders in here. We have all of our grow outs, extra guineas, our sex links that we have a breeding program for. Everybody's in here. So it's just a hodgepodge of everything. And we're gonna come get your eggs. Is that okay? Can we have your eggs? This is an Indio Gante hen. She sounds really mean when I try to get her eggs, but she's never actually tried to peck me, which is really nice. But in here, these are probably just what like you guys would have for general backyard chickens. We have some blue egg layers, so we have Americanas. What else do we have? We have a darker chocolate egg, which is like from these are from French black copper Morans. Chickens are gonna be noisy. We have just your general tan egg from lots of things that lay tan eggs. What else do we have? Oh, here we go. Just a second. Let me bend down here. So this is a white egg. It's from Polish. Nothing too crazy. The guineas are loud. Sorry. And then I'm guessing, nope. We have one other. I just leaned down in some poop. Dang it. Well, I can't find one. That's a very good example. But we have salmon Faverolles, and if you don't know what those are, you should go look them up because they're extremely cute. But they lay just kind of a general tan egg, but a lot of people have the misconception that they lay pink eggs. And they're not technically pink, but they can have a bloom on them that causes them to be a more pink hue, but they're not actually pink. So don't be contacting your local breeders and saying, I want a salmon Faverolles that lays a pink egg, or any chicken that lays a pink egg, because it doesn't exist. Newsflash. Not to burst your bubble, but nope. There's no such thing. We had somebody ask for, or mention that they were gonna do purple egg layers, and more power to you. It's just the bloom on the egg that causes it to be that color. But we have all sorts of sizes. Oh, you can't really tell. It's a little guy. There you go. Now you can kind of tell. Normal size of the tan egg, and then the lighter one is like a new layer. So in here we have new layers, we have old layers, we just have a little bit of everything. So we get different size eggs out of here and different colors. We do have one olive egger chicken in here. I don't know where she's at, but she hasn't been laying lately, so we don't have any olive eggs. But I'm gonna gather up these eggs because the guineas are being really loud, and then we're gonna head out to the pasture. Hello. You only have one egg. That's it. Just one. All that noise in one egg. And it's not even yours because that thing is tiny. ma'am. Hey, moo-moos. Come on, girls. Come on. Bring your babies. Where's Trixie? Oh, she's way over there. June, why'd you leave your baby way over there? So like I said, we have registered Texas Longhorns, and so this is our herd. We have 13 now. We have 3 cows, and the rest are heifers, and then we have 3 little baby calves. Little Miss No Name running at us. And then this one over here is Mr. Steve. He is a little bull calf that was born in August. And then Trixie, she's coming. She's way back there on the hill. That's a little heifer calf. And then this one right here by Lucy that does not have a name yet is a little heifer calf. And this is Reba. Would you like to say hi, Reba? Reba. Reba is Lucy's calf from last year. Lucy's the one right behind her. And she's telling Trixie to get over here. We just posted a video of Lucy and her calf Wednesday. You guys would have seen it Wednesday. But in there we mentioned that Trixie had a limp, and her limp is pretty much gone. So that is super exciting news. She is pretty much back to normal, and as you can tell, is just running and being a good little calf. So I'm gonna get some range cubes out for these guys, and then I'll show you a little bit more up close. And there she is. Hi, Miss Trixie. Ugh. Marley, what you doing? She is so cute. Absolutely love her. All right, let's feed them. Girls want some treats? Miss June. Here you go. Jane. Got them all range cubes. So, I think Luke introduced them on the last video, so I'm not going to introduce them all again, but I will show you Trixie because she's right here by the fence. Hi, little girl. Hi. What are you doing? She's just chilling. I'm gonna go ahead and spray these girls down for flies while I'm out here, and then we'll head over to the chicken yard, which is what we're supposed to be doing on this whole video. So bear with me. Of this video, besides, you know, just hanging out with me, is talking about selling eggs. So you saw in our other pen our basket of eggs that just has kind of random eggs in it. We do sell these eggs, but the eggs that we already collected are not our primary egg laying flock. In the spring and summer, those are the chickens that we hatch eggs from to sell as chicks. and just to eat ourselves, because we have little eggs, big eggs, like nothing is equal in size. So these girls out here that you can see behind me here, this is strictly our egg laying production flock. And so these are Isa Browns or Red Star, same thing pretty much. But they are specifically for laying us a nice brown egg. Sorry, had a mosquito and my hair is kind of crazy. But they produce strictly brown eggs that are nice and big, most of the time pretty uniform in size. And so these are the eggs that we like to sell, because people love to have good brown eggs that are about the same size, look nice in the cartons, all that stuff. So we're gonna come in here into the egg mobile, not step on a chicken, and we're gonna check out the hen gear nest box and see how many eggs we have in here. We have only had these hens, well, 200 of these hens for a week now. And so not all of them have figured out the nesting box, but we are getting closer. I was only getting about 15 eggs in here on a regular basis, and so now we have much more than that. We have, probably about 40 or so, which is nice because then I don't have to go searching for them. So I'm gonna get these loaded up in the basket, and then we'll go out and do a Easter egg hunt, real lifestyle. We hit the jackpot in here. Lots of eggs. So I gotta gather these up. Got the goods. Basket's so heavy I can barely hold it up. It's full basket. These guys are just enjoying their life out here. Girls, I should say, not guys. And our guard gooses living their best life. So let's head into the house and we will sort these eggs and wash the ones that need washed and show you how to store them. All right, we are finally inside. I had to do a bunch of other stuff before I got to come back inside to sort the eggs. So now we're inside. Normally we sort everything out in our garage, but when the weather gets warm, then we bring everything into our house. So we just have a plastic table set up by our front door, which we never use because we always come in the back door. So it works out perfect just to have it in here, and then everything's right here. And when I take eggs to town for customers, then I can just come in here and grab them and put them in the kitchen so I don't forget. So what we're going to do this evening is we're going to sort the eggs that I collected plus some other ones because I haven't sorted for a while. So several things to think about when you have eggs and you're wanting to sell them is clientele, obviously. So do you have enough people to buy your eggs? And there's several different options. You can just sell them on Facebook, post like in local groups. If you have friends or family that want them, you can do like a little farm stand. There's all sorts of ways. You could also get like a wholesale buyer. So we have a wholesale buyer. We have a couple different wholesale buyers actually. One of them is going to get eggs tomorrow. So when I sort these, some of the eggs that I'm sorting will be for him. We have a different wholesale buyer at a different location that buys eggs, sometimes not as often. And then I have weekly customers who buy usually 2 dozen at a time, sometimes up to 4 dozen, 6 dozen, whatever. But they're regular customers that buy every single week. And so those customers, we have custom egg cartons. They're just the, craft cartons, and then we put our stamp on it. And I always put those eggs in here if somebody's just buying a dozen or two. If they don't mind flats, then we do have flats, but we save those usually for our wholesale buyers. And then something else that I did, just with general information, because some people don't understand the difference of washed and unwashed and what you can do with or how you should store those eggs. And so I just made little cards. So the front is pretty simple. Hopefully you can read that. nothing fancy. And then on the back it just has the farm fresh eggs, they're pasture raised, farm fresh, and they're unwashed. And so it just says these eggs are unwashed and can sit on your counter for up to 6 weeks, or you can store them in the refrigerator for up to 4 months. Once the eggs are washed, they need to be refrigerated. And then at the bottom it says duck and quail eggs available. We don't always have duck eggs, but we have quail eggs quite a bit. So that's just something that I just put in the carton on top of the eggs and send with our customers. I've had a lot of people that have really enjoyed having those. Plus they're cute and it's fun to do. So all of the eggs that we sell are usually unwashed, which means that no water has touched them. So if you don't know much about eggs, or maybe you don't have chickens, or you're new to chickens, when a chicken lays an egg, when it comes out, it's kind of wet looking, like it's glossy. And then when it dries, it has what's called a bloom on the egg. And so it's basically just like a protectant that you can't see that coats the egg. But if that bloom gets washed off, then it's not safe to store on the counter anymore. So if there's water that gets on here, or if you scrub them or anything like that, the bloom has came off, which means that bacteria can start to grow inside the egg, and then you want to make sure that you put it in the refrigerator. So if they are unwashed, they can stay on the counter, but if any sort of water touches them, or they're washed or whatever, they need to be put in the fridge. If you put them in the fridge being washed, which is what you get in the store, that's your typical white eggs, brown eggs, whatever that you get in the store, they have been washed, they do not last as long as unwashed eggs that sit on the counter. So it's just preference. We prefer to sell all of our eggs unwashed because they last longer and our customers enjoy that. So that's what we do. Just general sorting, what we do when we come in is we just kind of look through. Usually Luke and I do this together, but again, you're here hanging out with me by myself. So usually we just check them over to make sure there's no cracks. This one, as you can tell, has like a little hole right there. So we're not gonna sell that, because if I put this in a carton and somebody leaves this carton on their counter for 2 weeks, 3 weeks longer, that can start to grow bacteria and it's gonna rot and it's gonna smell disgusting. So we just give them a glance over. If they have any sort of crack or puncture, anything like that, these go to our dogs. We give them as treats. They love that. So I have a carton over here that has little eggs, that has wrinkly eggs, that have super thin shells, and then the cracked ones. So those will go to the dogs. So anything else, if they're clean, like no poop on them, anything like that, I'm gonna put them for our wholesale buyer, because he prefers them to be clean. He does blue eggs. Not into that. If you don't know what that is, go look it up on your own if you would like. It is disgusting in my opinion, so whatever. If they're extra poopy or dirty, muddy, oh, Jack, the dang dog just knocked over the birdhouse. If they're extra poopy or dirty, I'm gonna put them in this other tray, because these are ones that need to be washed. So we will leave them in this tray until we need them, and then we'll wash them and put them in the fridge. At home, I don't have a lot of fridge space, and I don't have time to take them up to our hunting lodge to store them. So for now, they're just gonna go there. So I'm gonna put you on time lapse, and I'm gonna get these eggs sorted. And there you have it. We just sorted 25 dozen eggs. So I have my wholesale buyer eggs in one stack. I have my really poopy and dirty eggs in one stack. And then I have my medium dirty eggs. My medium dirty eggs basically just means that they have some poop on them, some dirt on them, but they don't need washed. and they can go out to my regular customers once they're packaged into their dozen egg cartons. So good amount of eggs. We have, well, 20 dozen is going to our wholesale buyer tomorrow, so all of those will be gone. All of these eggs are within roughly 3 to 4 days, 3 days probably, collected, but we do have the egg laying hens, and so we get lots of eggs. These eggs will all be gone within the next, well, probably by Tuesday, and it's Thursday right now. So we go through, I sell roughly 20 dozen a week, sometimes more, but that's kind of just a general number. So let's take some of these dirty ones over to the kitchen, and I'll just show you how to float them and wash them off and package them to put them in to the fridge. So I'm just running some water right now, and then we're gonna put these eggs into the sink. I like to have my water just kind of like warm, not cold, but not hot. I have my plug in the sink, so I'm just gonna move them over. These, like I said, they're gross. So I'm just gonna do a dozen because that's the egg carton I brought over was a dozen. And I'm gonna do this one because it had a little egg crack on it, and it's gonna get gross if we don't wash it. So you just put them in your water. Okay, there's 12. If you wanted to do a float test, basically you just put your eggs in water. I'll turn you around here. You just put your eggs in water and cover the eggs completely with water, and if they float, then that means they are bad, and if they just stay underwater, then that means they're good. So that's one way to check your eggs. You can do that with store-bought eggs too if you want. It's up to you, but that's just one way to make sure they're not rotten. Push back down here. So none of these are floating, which means they're good to go. You can buy these little egg cleaners. We have a couple different ones. They don't work the best, to be honest, but I just get it wet, and you can just put it on the egg and it's supposed to clean it, but I prefer to either just use my hands or like a washcloth. So that's what I like to do. You don't have to get them perfect unless you want them perfect. It's up to you. I just make sure that there's most of the poop and dirt is gone. So there it is. Obviously the bloom has been washed off, so these are gonna have to go into the fridge so they don't spoil. This one has some extra shell on it. Must have gotten close to another one that was broken. You can use a little scrub daddy and scrub them if you want. Really, it's up to you. If you do a farm stand and you have a place where you can plug a refrigerator in or something like that, you could easily do washed eggs. Sometimes unwashed eggs freak people out because, you know, they have poop and stuff on them, but most of our egg customers prefer them to be unwashed. I have people that when they order their eggs, they say specifically that they want them unwashed. So if you happen to get some washed eggs and you forget to put them in the fridge, they can be out on the counter for no more than like 4 hours, and then they need to be thrown away. So that accidentally happened to one of my customers. I had washed the eggs because they were extra dirty like these, and then she didn't realize that they were refrigerated, so she left them out, and then I had told her, I said, oh, those are refrigerated, and so we had to throw them away, or she had to throw them away. But it happens, it's okay, it's not a big deal. Another egg that you can look into selling if you're looking to get into the egg market is Coturnix quail eggs. Those are really popular. A lot of people that can't eat regular chicken eggs can eat those quail eggs. The protein in them is different, and so a lot of people can have them, or they prefer them because they have a higher protein than a chicken egg. So that's something you can look into, especially if you live in town and you don't have as much space to raise chickens. You can raise Coturnix inside in a garage, in a brooder style pen, anything like that. You can sell duck eggs. We don't sell a ton of duck eggs because we hatch our duck eggs, but we do have some requests for duck eggs. They are bigger, obviously. They're just a richer egg. A lot of people like them for baking. So if you have space for ducks, that would be another option for egg cells. The dogs are whining because I'm in here in the kitchen and they think they're gonna get a snack. But they're not. So that's about all I have for this video. Once these eggs get washed, I will put them in the fridge and then I will eat them for breakfast. Not all of them, but some of them. Luke doesn't eat breakfast, so I'm the only breakfast person around here. If you have any other questions on chicken eggs, storing eggs, anything like that, drop them in the comments below. We'll be happy to answer any questions you guys have. So, I think that's all I have for this video. You know the deal. As Luke says, don't haggle with your egg supplier. Buy your chicks local. Drop antlers on the tile floor, apparently. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you haven't followed us on TikTok or Facebook, you can do that as well. 5 Acre Farm on both of those. We just hit 2,000 followers on TikTok and we're almost at 4,000 followers on Facebook. So if you haven't joined us on those two platforms, head on over and do that. And I guess that's all. We love you guys and I'll see you on the next one.
Hey, what the hell?